All right, we are live. Good morning, everybody. Sunday morning, and if you saw my YouTube short, got my hands on the new Garmin inReach Messenger, which I believe is a very direct response to the Zoleo satellite communicator right here, which I've had for the last couple of years. If you're a viewer of the channel, you know that I've been using inReach devices since the original, before Garmin bought them. So I've had all inReach models except for the minis, and then the last couple of years I've switched over to the Zoleo. But I'm trying to remember the first time that Garmin released a product that was a direct answer to a competing product. And the only one I could remember was the Garmin Venu, which was a response to the Apple Watch a couple years ago here. But the main selling features of the inReach Messenger is trying to replicate the messaging functionality that is on the Zoleo, which is the ability to send messages over different networks. So with the Zoleo, day one it came out, you can send messages over Wi-Fi, cellular, and the Iridium satellite network. With the satellite messenger, you're kind of doing the same thing, but we'll get into future videos, some more deep dives. There are some limitations with the message length when you do send them. And of course, with this, you do have the secondary or the new Garmin Messenger app that goes with it to allow you to send these messages. You also have some fake group messaging or group chats, which is not quite that. But the app looks exactly the same as the Zoleo Messenger. One of the big things why Zoleo works out pretty well is because it's very simple and it focuses on messaging. And I know I've seen some stuff when this was released a couple weeks ago that some people were kind of miffed that the Messenger app wasn't compatible with the inReach Minis or even the newly released Mini 2. So anyway, I haven't opened the box yet, so this is kind of the unboxing. Did buy it yesterday, got it at Mountain Co-op, so list price $389, final price with taxes in is $448 Canadian. So not a cheap device. Zoleo is about $100 cheaper for that. But anyway, we'll take a look here at the box. Could take a look at some of the logos, but basically we have the Iridium, so it sends the messages across the same satellite network, has Bluetooth, and has ANT+. So those are the sensors on it, which means that you can probably, well, not probably, they have mentioned that you can still pair the inReach Messenger with some of your existing Garmin devices. So if you have, I believe I'll be able to pair it with the Map 66, or which is the non-inReach version, or the Montana 700, which is the non-inReach version of this model. So be able to use that. Not too clear if I'm able to use Garmin Explorer to view my history and stuff. I assume so because it's all inReach, but we'll take a look. I do like Garmin's boxes here where you can see the top of the device. You see the sides, so power, SOS. We have probably the charging port here. What we're missing here is the front view, which is all the function buttons. And of course we have a little display screen. So let's get going right now and open this thing up. So open this up. All right, little disclaimer here. So this is one of the things with inReach that people don't quite understand is you do need to buy a subscription to use the inReach satellite services. Same thing with the Zoleo. One of the things when you are looking for these satellite communicators is that you have to look at the overall cost of ownership on these devices. So one, you got to factor in the cost of the device plus, let's say, 12 months of the subscription fees, and then that gives you a pretty good idea how much money you're going to spend. And Zoleo tends to be the cheaper one because you get you a little bit more for your bang for your buck. So there's the device. Let's get this out. Put that right here. Quite a bit smaller. What else do we have here? We have our charging cable, USB-C charging cable, and instructions. So we'll deal with this another day with the setup. We're not going to cover this because I do need the smartphone in order to do this. So obviously I'm using the smartphone to do the live stream, so I can't quite do that. But Here we go. So both of them are, when you look at the specs displayed, and I have it on the website, I'll add it in the link. I do the inReach comparison with the Zoleo. I kind of get the spec breakdown, so I do have an article that I posted. So overall specs, or let's start with prices. US, this is $299 US, this is $199 US. Weight, this is about 4 ounces, and this is 5.3. An ounce. The dimensions, 3.5 by 2 by 6 by 1 inch thick, and this one is 3 inches by 2.5 by 0.9. So just a smidge. Oh, obviously it's a little bit smaller, right? That's what Garmin tends to do. They got their hardware set up fairly good in terms of size. You can see we got the functions here. So it looks like they have a little hole here for the carabiner, but no carabiner or lanyard included. Zoleo does comes with the little clip. I've replaced the carabiner clip with another one here, but all right. So let's see what else we got here. In terms of functions on the device itself, you can do check-in buttons, so you can have a check-in somewhere in here, which is the OK. You also have your protective case or cover to do the SOS, and the SOS is over here. Press on that little doodad. Right, so power button there, power button on the side of the Zoleo. And then we have our charging port right here, USB-C, which Zoleo has the old micro USB, right? So have that. We have our LED lights based on the different statuses. You have a new message, you have that, power, check-in, and then the SOS with different colors. inReach Messenger has the new smaller display, which means that you have to learn another Garmin menu system. So you'll have to press OK and start scrolling with the buttons to get down to a menu to do everything. That's one thing about the inReach. I think for people who've looked at this or had previous versions, there's a lot of functionality that you can still do on the device. Just like Zoleo, you can do the core functions, but Garmin, with some of the ones, if you start seeing it with the when they start to do the Explorer, you should be able to access all the functions on the device as with the smartphone app. But with the Messenger or with the Zoleo, the functions are focused more on messaging itself rather than the check-in and the SOS, which you can do on both. The other thing that you or Zoleo can't support right now is message presets. So if you have your 3 message presets to say that I'm okay, I'm at my truck ready to go home, or I'm fine, you can send that through here. You can't necessarily have preset messages here on that. The IP rating in terms of dust and vibrations and all that, this is an IP68, this is an IPX7, and I'll have to read up here because I believe this rating IPX7 is not as good as 68. Maybe somebody in the comments can clarify that. These ratings always confuse me because for this case 68, the 6 means something and the 8 means something else, and then the X means something and 7. So the other big feature here that they're selling, or with the Messenger, is that the battery life on this is way more than the Zoleo. Zoleo can do about 200 hours-ish on regular default settings if you have it on 24/7. This is supposed to do around the 600 hour, if not a little bit more. So I'll be very curious to see how long this battery is going to last. As I said, in terms of the sensors, we have the Bluetooth sensors. We normally would have our EMEI numbers here in the back, or some other information in the back. In terms of other sensors, GPS, of course, has a GPS chip so that it sends your coordinates when you send a message. It supports the GPS to GLONASS satellite networks. This one will have obviously GPS, Galileo, the QZSS, which is the Japanese, I believe, GPS network, and of course the Beidou satellite network, which is I believe is China's GPS network. So that is that. That's about it. I don't know if you want to, of course, the next thing I'm probably going to do with this is to charge her up and then go through the process of getting it on a subscription plan. So, right, so if you're already having an Explorer account, this should be relatively easy. But I'll cover this in another video. Kind of hard to do this on this. And I want to see if you're able to do this via this new messaging app that they have here. So, but you can see here, you'll have all your display, you'll have your menu system, be able to see some weather, presets and all that, but you just got to start learning how to use these new, yet another menu system. So anyway, next thing we'll probably do here, well, let's peel this off. Yep. There we go. New point of no return. Can't return it now, eh? Let's put that there. All right, so let's see. Usually it's juiced up a little bit, so let's at least turn it on. Go through Wizard, so we have our English, so we can use our, again, arrows, just like any other watches and stuff. So we'll hit OK for English. Messaging, tracking, SOS require an active subscription. Always test your device before you go. Messenger works best when paired to your phone. And is this the last message? All right. Man, these icons are small. What's up with Garmin with their 5-point fonts? You see it here on their boxes too. Their boxes. All right, so at this point, we would need to flip over to the Messenger smartphone app. And again, I won't be able to do this in this video because I'm using my phone to do this live stream, but we'll be doing a whole series of videos, getting this set up here with the phone, getting this paired up with Messenger, get this on a subscription plan, and then we'll start doing some tests. And I'll be doing some deep dive compares. So if you look through my inReach playlist, I've done this with the older Explorer Plus, but I'll be kind of doing the same thing with this, and then plus we'll do some more side-to-sides with the Messenger, so Messenger apps. So anyway, that's it. I think that's all we're going to cover today. I'm going to add the links in the description to kind of my initial thoughts and comparison guides and buying guides and all that. You guys can take a look at that. But just expect some uploads on this topic for the next little while. And I think I'll just call it a day here on the live stream. Thank you very much, folks, for joining in, and we'll talk to you guys next time.